So here we go again. I have to start this up again. I was talking to some people outside when I was having a smoke, and man, we mentioned Van Halen. Of course, got to put out some Van Halen, some vintage Van Halen. Well, it's not vintage. It's off the Twister soundtrack. It's called Humans Being, and Van Halen. Oops. Pretty much, I play it the easiest way possible. I looked at a bunch of versions on the net, and then I was just like, okay, I see how many chords. These like 3 different ways to play it, probably even more. I mean, it's some of the ways people play things on the internet is just like, that's way too hard to play. Well, I want to be able to remember it, not like remember 30 chords or two numbers how to play something. So we were using flat chords. We were barring them. You know, I mentioned that earlier on a lesson, barring chords, which was we were going through open chords and 3 and a 5, and that was it right there for Van Halen's Humans Being. And always remember that scratch. Make it heavy, make it hard, make it strong, man. A lot of people don't do that. And another guitar trick for you that you might hear every once in a while, if you do this at the very end. Yep, that's sounds like a harmonic, but it's not. So there we go, and let's just go to my riffing, man. Let's just see whatever comes to mind, and I like doing that better than actually learning songs. Last songs I learned were Master of Puppets. I learned all this, and like I learned almost. Let's not get it. I have no musician's ego. I just love teaching music. Yeah, I can learn song as long as I know the chords. It's pretty easy if I know them before my chord knowledge. So let's break down. Let's do some chord progression. Hey, let's start off with, you would know this chord from Fuel. It's Hemorrhage in My Hands, but we're going to start off on this chord, which is not hard. At least, yes, it is. Well, not for me, but it's kind of a stretch. See if I can make this comfortable. So. Where am I today? I'm all not my best, if you've heard it all, but alright. So remember, we can do open notes and yeah. One sec. So let's try it. Let's do something really cool. What? Oh, here's some goth rock for you. Mask. Very pretty though. You never know. Yeah, this is played during, like, it's really miserable. It's kind of a moody song, and then they bust out with this riff, which is really pretty. Oops, I missed it. So that was Bauhaus Mask, and then we can take it a step higher. Let's get into some Typo Negative, man. This is off the Bloody Kisses album, We Hate Everyone. It's track something. I think if I'm right, it should be track number 8. and let's just play the breakdown riff where all the keyboards and the keyboardists and they just all get in sync, and it's just pretty badass. And one of my most, yeah, I used to listen to this album a lot. Doom metal, actually. And let's get in some Kenny Hickey riffing, man. Check this one out. That's how you play that when it gets all heavy on, and after the, you know, that solo, I guess, or breakdown. Here's another. This is off of World Coming Down, also Typo Negative. Very strange breakdown riff, but we can play it. I mean, I can play it. Ah, who's we? Check out this riff. Now let's do it again. And who will save the sane? Yeah, that's Who Will Save the Sane. Should be track number 5. Something like that. Who will save the sane, man? Some beings just cannot change. Run on by with a fake tear in your eye and think, wasn't he strange? That's a very World Coming Down of Typo Negative. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's definitely underrated. But depends what kind of music you like, though. All right, here's Pirate Blaze, man. It's off the same album. Let's bust it out. This is doom metal. And check out this. I can't. Check out this riff. This is also Pirate Blaze. And then we go on that one piece. And there we go. And then there's a spark still I knew. I guess we could step it up a little. Let's get into some Local H. I love Local H, man. Definitely probably one of the most underrated bands, two-man bands of all time. Same with Typo, Acid Bath. They're all underrated bands, man. So let's get into like Local H, man. I played the opening part. This is called Lovey Dovey. It says, don't you hate it? People are in love, they're so happy. So fucking happy. And that's off As Good as Dead album. I would bust out Eddie Vedder and stuff, but I'd really like to sing a little louder. You know. And he busted. The guy has bass pickups on his guitar because they kept on not trying to find a bassist, and they kept on losing him. And I saw him last year. No, I saw him like 2 years ago. They played at the Snow Goose. Oh man, Local H rocks, man. I met the band, everything. Yeah, Local H. They came out with a new album. I haven't checked it out, but I have heard Michelle Again. That song. What is it called? That album. I don't know. MySpace Stopped Being So Jewish. I'm a Jew, by the way. Well, I'm not the religion, but Jewish descent. So I can say that appropriately. So MySpace Stopped Being So Jewish, and then you can just stream almost any albums. And by the way, you can steal the music on MySpace, and I'm going to tell you how. Let's get into some computer. Use Orbit Downloader. The only problem you have to do that is that once you can do YouTube, by the way, you could download this lesson if you wanted to, if you're running VLC or whatever. So basically, you're going to use Orbit Downloader, and you use Grab++, and it's on the tools. I think that's where it is. I haven't used it. long time. But it's basically when you load, you can reload the page or something like that. So it's going to grab your flash file, and YouTube should be .flv, and on my